What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni straight after a Chelsea victory away at 3-Point Lane, aka White Hart Lane. 3-0, you know, and guess who predicted the 3-0? Yes, yours truly, moi, Mr. Guni. I got the result right again. I think this is the third week in a row. It might be the second, I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, we got the 3 points. We kept the clean sheet. But before I do get into the main content, please make sure you do like, share, subscribe, and leave your opinions down there in the comments. You know I do get back to you. Even if I am a couple of days late, I will acknowledge that you did drop a comment. I love every single one of you. Thank you. We smashed the 2,000 barrier. Let's get on to 3,000. I know you lot can help me do that because you've helped me meet 2 milestones already so quickly. So let's keep that one moving. Let's get into today's game. Obviously, us being the away team, I'm going to start with the home team with their lineup. You get me? Man like Lloris in goal, Royale as the right back, Dyer and Romero as the centre back pairing, Reguilon as the left back, the midfield of Højbjerg, Lo Celso and Ndombele and Dele, and up top you had Kane and Son. On the bench, Golini, Doherty, Rondon, Sanchez, Davis, Winks, Skip, Bryan and Scarlett. Now for Chelsea, the winning team. In goal, we had Kepa. Now, listen, a little bit of news about that. Kepa, obviously, we weren't expect to see him in the lineup. And me, personally, I was shook, fam, because we obviously know Kepa's history. But to be fair on him, when he was called upon today, he done his job. But we got the news that Mendy was not in the squad. And I'm speculating that it was to do with the impact collision that he had with De Zubia earlier on in the Champions League in the week. Our 1-0 victory against Zenit St. Petersburg. He looked like he was in a little bit of discomfort. So, not really too surprised to see him sit out. Hopefully, he's going to be fit for the next game. But nonetheless, like I said, Kepa done his job. He done alright today still. The centre-back three of Christensen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, and the wing-backs Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso, with the midfield pivot of Kovacic and Jorginho, Kai Havertz, Lukaku and Mason Mount up front. Now, obviously today, sadly, I don't get to sing my Bolingoli song, but big up Bolingoli anyway. But hopefully that Bolingoli song will come soon. I can only sing that when he scores a goal. And when he gets his hat-trick, I promise you I'm going to give you the full thing. You're going to hate my vocals, but it's got to run, you get me? I promised you something and I'm going to give it to you. Ah, yes, the bench. I forgot about the bench. Let's not disrespect the bench. Bettinelli, Chilwell, James, Chalobah, Kante, Saul, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech and Timo Werner. Now that we got the lineups out of the way, let's get into the main bit of today's game. Right, so again, this is my favorite saying, man. It comes like I'm saying this every week. It was a game of 2 halves. No, I don't mean literally. I give you a lot more credit than that. I mean in terms of the Chelsea performance. The first half was quite poor from Chelsea. Spurs, they defended well, they pressed well, they held possession well, they controlled the midfield, they kept they kept us in our own half, you know. They did keep us in our own half, and they tried to play well in the final third, which I feel that they did. I felt that in Ndombele, everything good was going through him. You just saw the press resistance. You saw how graceful he is on the ball. He can carry the ball and drive it. He's got vision. He's got good passing. The only issue with Ndombele is his fitness. He needs to take care of his diet and his mentality off the field, because if he had that, he would be an elite player. We saw glimpses of that today. I thought Lo Celso was quite positive, always looking for the ball, his usual self. The confidence was there in the first half with him. Dele Alli getting himself involved as well, creating chances. Son really with the only glaring opportunity that I can say, and it wasn't even really the most dangerous opportunity. I can't remember who it was that threaded the ball into him. He took a bad touch. Lucky enough, Kepa did his job, came out early enough and he gathered the ball. But that was really it. Neither teams really created chances. It was a very cagey affair. Those Spurs in the first half of the first half, they controlled the game pretty well. We couldn't get a string of passes together. Our positioning was poor. Jorginho was getting dispossessed quite a lot. Mason Mount and Kai Havertz up top just were not giving any service to Lukaku. But like halfway into the first half, you could sort of see like we were starting to get our shape better a bit. We were starting to ping passes together a little bit. We were starting to exploit the lines a little bit better. But we weren't good enough to really break Spurs in the first half, and I was okay with that. Chelsea, honestly, we have been starting off slow. We have been absorbing pressure, but that's something that I'd like to see us improve on. We need to start games a bit better, a bit more positive. You know what I'm saying? We can't always rely on our defense, as well class as they've been. We can't always rely on that. We need to just start dominating teams from the beginning, start to finish, man. Really make our mark known. But I'm not complaining too much about the performance. It's still another clean sheet. We went into the second half unscathed. Noticeable notes about the first half. Again, it was just really about that midfield battle. Very scrappy, couldn't get passes together. Jorginho being dispossessed. Lukaku not really getting any chances. Mount and Havertz, their passing in the final third, it needs to improve. Clearly there's a massive dip in form in both players. They're not getting anything right, even down to basic things like the first touch. One opportunity that I can remember in the first half that could have created, Mason Mount, he had Kai Havertz and Lukaku either side of him. He played through Lukaku, which in my opinion was the wrong option. Kai Havertz on his stronger left foot was unmarked. Could have just slapped it first time and it might have even been 1-0. But it's little things like that. We saw that in the Zenit game. Mason Mount's decision making in the final third needs to improve. Am I worried about the quality of the guy? Absolutely not, because we've seen it. We've seen it. And this is what we need to understand. Every single young player, their form is... Listen, it goes up and down. There's not really so much consistency with young players, but it's okay because they're young. They've got time to learn. This is what it's about, building experience. And Mason Mount is no different. And we also forget Kai Havertz is no different. He's still a very young player. He's still got a lot to learn. They've got a lot to develop in their game. And luckily enough, we've got the quality. If they don't pull through, we can make changes because we have a proactive manager and the best manager in the world. Like I told you before the season started, Thomas Tuchel is currently the best manager in the world. You cannot show me anybody on current form better than him. Yeah, he's only lost one away game for Chelsea. And that was the game against Aston Villa, last game of the season, 2-1 defeat. But we got the Champions League final in mind. And we already were in the top 4, so it didn't really matter. So I'm complying for that. But nonetheless, you got to respect the man. We have the best manager in the world. If you agree with me, let me know down there in the comments. If you think there's a better manager currently on current form than Thomas Tuchel, also let me know and I'm going to tell you why you are wrong. But second half starts, he makes the change that we expect to make, because I thought it was either going to be Kai or I thought it was going to be Mace, because those two were glaringly the worst players in the first half, unfortunately for them. So we were correct about that. Mason Mount was dragged off. I want to say something about Mason Mount, because I understand why Tuchel started him. Although I wanted to see Kai, Werner and Lukaku, I understand why Tuchel started Mace. Mason Mount, with the amount of work that he puts in, right? And he's quite positionally aware for his age, quite disciplined, and he knows where to be a lot of the time, right? He was expecting him to drop back into that midfield and make it a free himself. You see what I'm saying? So when the defensive transitions, Mason Mount was going to drop back, help out in the midfield. In the attacking transitions, it goes back to the pivot. Mason Mount is part of the attacking free. He didn't do that enough. So I could understand why Tuchel made the change. He bought off Mason Mount. And then the surprising thing was he bought on N'Golo Kante. N'Golo Kante. Listen, we all know that we love N'Golo Kante, but like if we're chasing goals, right, up until that point, it was like, is he really the right player to bring on? Boy, this is why I say, in Tuchel we trust. That's why I say that, because this man is a genius. Immediately, he changes the formation into a 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, however you want to call it. I'm old school, bro. I call the back 3 the back 5, so that's why I call it the 5-3-2. But yeah, he changes it into the 3-5-2, and boy, oh boy, did N'Golo Kante prove to everybody who just calls him a defensive midfielder why he's not that. And he is way more than that. He is a box-to-box midfielder. So often in N'Golo Kante, the transitions that this guy makes from the defense to attack, the way he can carry the ball from defense to attack so quickly, and his passing is just improving, that just goes to show there's so much more to his game. And you saw when he came on the field, everything changed. It was a different game in the second half. Chelsea, we absolutely dominated them. The third man in that midfield absolutely changed the game. We dominated them. Spurs, they couldn't keep up with our press. We just went up another gear. Spurs couldn't keep up with that, honestly. And the breakthrough came. Lovely corner from Marcos Alonso, who has been having a fantastic season. Hasn't put a foot wrong in at this point. puts in a cross. Thiago Silva, absolutely fantastic header. Roll back the clock and just remind me of John Terry. You remember when he used to just score them goals from a corner? You could almost guarantee it's either going to be John or it's going to be Gary to put it in with the bullet headers. If you remember that, smash the like button as well, man. Good old times, but it looks like we're reliving them times now because Thiago Silva has just done the same thing. I've got to say, poor marking from Dele Alli, because you can see before it, he is aware of where Thiago Silva is. And I think it's a situation where Dele Alli gets caught ball watching, and by the time he sees Thiago Silva coming in, it's way too late. Thiago's already timed his run, and he's committed to the ball, and it's too little too late, man. Boom, 1-0. Excellent finish from Thiago Silva. Game on. So at this point, Chelsea, we just do not look like conceding. We look very comfortable. Spurs, however, it was a nightmare for them. And Ndombele clearly didn't look fit enough at all to play this game. And we're going to come on to why in the second goal. I'm going to point out a few things to you. Lo Celso, I think he had a bit of cramp. He had to come off. Harry Kane, Harry the Ghost Kane. He does, I don't know what's going on. I don't really want to resort to the excuse, oh, we don't want to play for Tottenham no more, and the transfer from Manchester City has turned his head and it's affected his form. I don't want to entirely blame it on that. This is a London derby. Have some pride about you. Have some incentive about you. There's fans that have come and paid to watch you, and you put in a performance like that. He was missing. He wasn't his usual self. He didn't even look like he wanted the ball. He was dropping deep and crowding out the midfield. It was frustrating to watch. Like, from an England perspective, like, it was frustrating to watch. He needs to do something. Spurs need to do something about that before it just turns into an untenable situation, because that was a disgusting performance from Harry Kane. But yeah, the second goal, tomfoolery again from Tottenham. They lose the ball in a very dangerous area. N'Golo Kante picks up, and this is where I come This is where I talk about Tanguey Ndombele, right? If you look at Ndombele the whole time, Dyer is screaming at him, saying, yo, Tanguey, you need to be there. You need to be putting pressure on N'Golo Kante, who had acres of space to make a decision. And the one decision nobody thought Kante was going to make, because I thought he was going to play in Werner, but he was like, nah, I don't trust you. Kante slaps it. He takes a shot, it takes a deflection off Eric Dyer. But I'm going to say that it looked like it was going in anyway. It looked like it was on target. Lloris looked like he was beaten. But nonetheless, it took the deflection off Dyer, hits the post, and then it rolls like across the line, and then it just crosses it. That's it, 2-0. N'Golo Kante, that's it. We're in cruise control. But Ndombele, at that point, he looked absolutely shattered. He looked like his legs were heavy. He was heavy breathing. I'd seen him already in that half. This is like 57 or so minutes in, you know. He's already got both his legs on his thigh, deep breathing. So it wasn't a good look for Ndombele. And proof is in the pudding. He couldn't get back in time to get his man N'Golo Kante, which cost Tottenham the goal. 2-0. You already know with Chelsea, once we score, it's very difficult for other teams to score against us, especially bottlers like Spurs. I had to throw that one in, especially bottlers like that. But yeah, the game just continues the same. Spurs are just, they just can't keep up with us. Chelsea are just out of sight. We're just beating them to everything. We're just every time we lose the ball, we're winning the ball back very quickly. We're transitioning very quickly into attacks thanks to players like N'Golo Kante, thanks to Marcus Alonso, who had an absolute blinder, creating chance after chance after chance. And then Timo Werner comes into the game. And what a game changer that was. Lukaku and Werner now are the strike partnership up front. As soon as Werner comes on, you could see the amount of chances that we started to create. And he did exactly what I thought he would do. He would stretch the Spurs back line. His pace, his movement, everything about his game today was just on point, and he got his result at the end. Although he did miss an opportunity, he took a horrible touch. How Timo was like through one-on-one on goal with Lloris. He controlled the ball, it gets behind him. I'm just like, come on, Timo, bro, you needed to score there. But nonetheless, he gets his reward. He gets an assist for Rudiger, very good assist actually. Picks up his head, does the cutback. Rudiger with an absolutely world-class performance today, tops it off with a goal. Striker's finish, takes the ball from Timo, swivels round, slaps it in, goal. That's it, 3-0. That's all she wrote. it was just like, it just capped off an amazing second half, just like a world-class second half. Spurs were just completely out of it, man. They were completely out of it once that small tactical change was made. And this is why I say Tuchel's the best manager in the world, because how many managers can make those proactive decisions at brave points in the game? Again, another substitution at half-time. Do you know how many managers are reluctant to do that? But Tuchel, with the bravery, he done it. It paid off. Absolutely brilliant. A couple of players that I've definitely got to mention in this game. I'm going to come on to the man of the match. My man of the match last, but I got to say, Marcus Alonso today was brilliant. And Ben Chilwell, I feel so sorry for him, because as good as he was last season and as important as he was last season, when Marcus Alonso is on a form like this, I agree, he cannot be dropped. The amount of chances that this guy was trying to create, he was getting forward, he was so positive. Even his defending has improved as well, something that we never thought that we would see, massively improving under Tuchel. Big up Alonso. Another day would have been a man of the match performance from him, honestly, man. So Alonso really is on fire. He needs to be starting every single week while he's on this form. Chilwell, if you expect to break into this team, you got to do something special in training, bro. You get me? And obviously we don't wish this upon him, or you got to wait for Alonso to get injured to get your chance. But we're going to come on to, no, not the man of the match yet. Another player who I thought was fantastic was N'Golo Kante. I thought he was the epitome of that tactical change. He relayed Thomas Tuchel's message very well, and you could see he rewarded his manager. What a performance that was. He was breaking up play from our own half, high up the opponent's field. He was creating chances, picking up the ball. He was driving. Man, he made the complete difference. What a performance N'Golo Kante had, and topped it off with the goal as well. A rare N'Golo Kante shot out of the box. I've already explained it, obviously. So well done, N'Golo. First game back from injury as well, so always positive to see that. Another one, Timo Werner as well, came on. We haven't seen much of Timo Werner recently, but when he did, boy oh boy did he make an impact. You could see the amount of chances that he created. You could see the game opening up way better for Chelsea when Timo was on. Like I said, just stretches the defence. His pace is just lethal as well. Could have done better in front of goal. Should have come away with a goal today, but we know Timo's got a miss in him. Do you know what I mean? And he did that today. And we come on finally to my man of the match, man like Thiago Silva, man. What a beast. What a beast. What a beast. You know, this man is also 36 years old as well, you know, same age as Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's showing everybody just why he is one of the best centre-backs in the world to this day. Yeah, his defensive positioning, the challenges that he was winning. Again, another crucial block that he made, just marshalling that defense, just staying in control and composed. That is our guy, man. Thiago Silva, what a masterstroke signing that is. What a performance. My man of the match for today. Spurs, they've got a lot to be disappointed about in the second half. If they had carried on with the same intensity as they did in the first, it might have been a different game. I still think we would have come away with 3 points, but Spurs, they kind of rolled over and died. I don't know if it's to do with fitness issues. I don't know if it's to do with mentality, but Spurs, not a good result. You can't be conceding 3 goals in the second half, especially to your London rivals. It's not a good look. But you know what? Their decline today was our benefit, and boy, did we take advantage of that. They got my prediction as well, so big up Chelsea. 3-0 Chelsea. Unfortunately, Bolingoli did not get on the score sheet, but hopefully next time I will be singing the Bolingoli song. But until then, please make sure you do like, share, subscribe, and let me know your opinions down there in the comments as well. And also, I'd be interested to know who subscribed to this channel from Tubes TV, who saw me today on the Tubes TV stream. Also, let me know down there. You get me? But yeah, wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, whatever time it is, please be safe. Bless.